Alrighty, welcome traders. It is Monday, January 22nd, 2024. Let's get into our trading and recap for the day. So let me share and get off the screen for you so you can see what's going on. And let's talk about what's going on in the markets right now. All right, so let me turn my video off so you can see. Let's jump up in the SPY. SPY moved up 10 points today. Nothing major on the session. If we take a look at the actual SPY itself, gapped up on the day, hit a new all-time high, and then finished well off its highs on the session. However, you got RSI and MACD running higher on the day. On the weekly, though, tipping over a bit and in the overbought category. So I'm starting to get cautious. Now we can run higher. We've got good momentum to the upside. So I think that's what you have to pay attention to, is the momentum to the upside. But at some point, this thing's got to tip over. So you're at the 3 ATR level. I think we're getting a bit overextended weekly. It doesn't mean that we can't still go higher. So just bear that in mind. Same thing here on the Qs, new all-time highs on the day, finishing well off their highs, but you are overbought on both the daily and the weekly. And then on IWM here, you had a pretty solid gap up today, and RSI and MACD definitely moving higher, squeeze starting to reverse. So you're starting to see the small caps getting involved here as well. All right, taking a look at the stocks over their 50-day moving average. This is peeling off just a bit here. As of recently, it held up the last couple sessions, but there's a pretty decently bearish sign up in here. And typically we'll see a sell-off not far off from that. Put-call ratio did fall on the session today as you're getting more and more calls, slowing down the upward move for now, but overall still in a fairly bearish mode. So we'll see what happens. VIX dropping on the day to 13. The dollar on the day today moved up a bit on the session. So you had the dollar moving up on the session today, which is weakening some of the Forex stocks. If you're looking at the 10-year rates, dropped on the day after a pretty nice forced up days or so that we're heading into. Good to see a little bit of a pullback here. I still think on this 10-year, we're really in a sideways area, at least till the Fed meeting is over, and then who knows if they say anything moving forward. So I think the rise here has definitely hurt bonds a bit, and I like what we're seeing here. So I think this thing can continue to move sideways from here. I don't think you're going to see a resumption of this downtrend anytime soon, at least not a significant one, which means bonds could be the way to go. All right, taking a look at the Aussie dollar, it was down on the session today. Weekly is pretty weak. So right now we're staying out of there a bit. Same thing with the British pound. Same thing with the Canadian dollar, and then the same thing with the euro down as well today. The daily looks to be improving, but the weekly is still pretty weak looking chart. So I'm not going to jump into there. Oil, one of our favorites here on oil. This thing has had a big pop on the session today. Really tight squeeze. Really like what we're doing on oil. You got the 9 moving around the 21. You're back to the 50-day, which is definitely flattened out from the fall that it has. I like this. I like this move in oil. I think you're strengthening and seeing the reversal on MACD and RSI here on the weekly, and now maybe a reversal of the squeeze momentum. All of those things are bullish. If we can hit a bullish PSR reversal here any time this week, potentially, almost did it today. I really like that for a bit of a bullish case on oil, but I just love the sideways to upward movement that we've had. This is a really nice kind of a bowl shape that we've got in here, but it's just a really nice uptrend. So we continue to trade oil well. We closed out another strangle today. So fantastic strangle. And then we added more trades on oil today. All right, taking a look at gold here, been very weak on the weekly. So gold falling on the weekly. It's been heading downwards. Even though MACD's kind of just sideways and RSI sideways on the daily, the weekly chart's definitely been in a downtrend. but moving sideways a bit here. I think this gave us an opportunity today to get in on a pretty unique gold trade. I'll touch base on that later. But I think overall weekly is weak, daily kind of just a mix, but it is still in the downtrending channel. We look at copper, probably one of my favorites to trade. It's just been in this range. We have been disclosing strangle after strangle after strangle on copper. You've got MACD starting to move higher, but RSI not really joining it. But the weekly is still weak, kind of like gold. So it's just drifting sideways to lower. It's just drifting aimlessly. And as long as it continues to go sideways, we're in pretty good shape. I really like where we are. We've got multiple trades on. We've got another strangle right now at 28% up in 6 days. We got a 112 that's up 142% in 35 days. Really, it's just paying off awesome for us. And as the rates have been recuperating a bit, you can see bonds have been heading lower. Now, you got MACD and RSI starting to give a little bit of a move higher here. And if we're looking at the weekly, though, it's still in a really much of a bearish move down on the weekly. So you got a little bit of a pump here on the daily and weak on the weekly. I love where we are. I think that sets up well for some really good strangle and other trades that we have on bonds. So as I move forward, I think that's what we'll keep looking at. Looking at all of the sectors today, most everything in the green, led by biotech and regional banks and retail to the upside, and then just a little bit of weakness here in utilities, discretionary, consumer staples heading lower. And then if we're watching the Magnificent Seven type of stocks, Apple, third straight giant gap day. It's just rocketing higher. This thing looks super strong right now on the daily, but the weekly is still not, totally in sync. Microsoft, it's already been running higher, and now it's overbought on both the daily and the weekly as far as the RSI goes. So I think it might need to take a little bit of a breather. Amazon down fractionally today, but it still looks pretty decent. Meta, same thing, looks good, but it's overbought. Google looks good, but it's a little bit overbought. NVIDIA looks good, and it's way overbought, and it's just rocketing higher. It doesn't care. And then Tesla just continues to suck. And it's falling down, but maybe you're starting to get a little bit of a bottoming action. You're definitely oversold. Doesn't mean we can't stick there, but breaking below this 3 ATR, but the 3 ATR is at a 45-degree angle. So until this flattens out, I think you could still head lower, but I might start to consider some put credit spreads on around the 180, 185 range in here. That's what we'll be talking about with our members as well. All right, let's take a quick look at our accounts and how we're trading right now. On the small account, another new all-time high today on the small account. So that's hitting a new all-time high. On the IRA account, another new all-time high in IRAs. And we did close out a strangle on oil today. So yes, we do some strangles in the IRAs as well. And then on the main account here, blasted to another new all-time high. $416,000 is the new all-time high, up almost $3,000 from yesterday. We are now up 20,457 on net lick for the month. So we're having a fantastic month. We are up 5%. The S&P is up 2.2%. We're up 5%. And then realized gains were up 4.5%. So we doubled the S&P's returns so far this year. We've already doubled the S&P. We're doing fantastic. We closed on another $4,065 today. Our delta, pretty low. So it's dropped. Great low delta. Love where we are. Very delta neutral. They just dropped a bit. Volatility continues to drop. And we closed out some trades today. 0.18. We'd like to get that moving up a little bit more, and we have some room to do it tomorrow. 416, as we mentioned, new all-time high. And then we're only sitting at 36% BP usage. We got plenty of powder, plenty of dry powder. I'm not going to use it all. If the markets are getting a bit overbought here, I think we'll slow down on the BP use, but we got some powder to go. All right, and if I have 10% to play with here, I can put on about $40,000 worth of trades tomorrow, margin-wise, to pump us up. So we're doing really well. Having a fantastic year so far. And let's take a look at what we closed as well on the year. So what did we close here today? First thing we closed was a strangle. So we took off this oil strangle. Took 33 days to make our 50%, as always. 19% return on margin, $1,260 into the kitty. So a nice trade on oil. Next trade here was we closed the naked puts on a long-term bear trap trade here. Took 81 days to get there. Out of the 120, we booked 95% on those, 22% return on margin. Fantastic in 81 days. Next trade here was we spent a little bit of money to turn a put debit spread into a black swan hedge. Cost us $185. We now have multiple hedges on. We have 5 solid hedges on in this account, not to mention the put debit spreads and the diversification of the portfolio that we have, and I'll talk about that in just a minute, so you can get a sense of what I'm talking about. And then here we also have another 0 DTE trade winner today. This one came off in 9 minutes. Put it on for 60 cents, took it off for 30 cents, so 50% winner, $240 to the good. Still 100% win rate on our 0 DTE trades, another 1% on margin, and 1% on margin in 9 minutes. So go ahead and do the math on that if you want to, and figure out exactly how well we're doing on those. I'm not going to post that thing anywhere. You guys get the point. But what you're seeing here is a really good array of trades, and there's a couple different ways you can hedge. And we talked about the difference between trading accounts and investing accounts. And investing is your long-term nest egg, your money for your retirements and so forth. Now, you saw that I am trading IRAs here, and I think you can trade those. We only are risking a lot less money there, and we're only aiming for about 1.5% a month versus 3% in these accounts. But I feel I can still go for 3% in an account and be safe because it's a trading account, and I'm okay taking a little risk in an account that I want to trade here. And I think you just need to understand your knowledge, how you're going to adjust. But a couple things that we do that make this different. Okay, number one, I've got 5 hedges on, and we're still hitting new all-time highs, so it's not dragging our account the way we do it. So I've got 5 long put hedges on. I've also got put debit spreads on for standard 112s. I've got BA 112s. I've got the AT 112s. The AT 112 really was the Andy 1121 trade. I turned it into a 112, and the A can stand for anything you want, whether you want to stand for Armageddon or active or anything else, or Andy or whatever you want to call it. Okay, for me, okay, it's a really good version trade that we've put on now, and that A to me is standing for something that's a lot higher average on that. So it's going to be a lot more active of a put debit spread. So it's a very active put debit spread. It's designed to hit a lot sooner. Completely different setup than our standard 112 trades. If you want to learn it, come join us in the Discord, see how we trade that trade, see how Andy and the rest of the gang maybe trading their 1121s or 1134s. And we've got those trades on as well, which are going to pay off to the downside. Then I'm diversified. I've got oil, I've got gold, I've got copper, I've got live cattle, I've got bonds, and the NASDAQ. So even if the NASDAQ and the S&P all start to move down at the same time, I'm going to be pretty diversified with plenty of oil, plenty of gold. Gold's going to start to move up as the markets move down, and I'm prepared for that up move. And I've got copper that's in pretty good shape right now. So I've diversified by strategy. I've diversified by underlying. I've diversified by expiration date. Okay, so don't get scared that the market's going to crash tomorrow and I need 80 million freaking hedges on. Okay, if all you trade is an ES 112 or long-term 112 or whatever the heck you're doing, if that's all you're doing, then yes, you better hedge yourself pretty good because you're totally reliant on the S&P 500. Okay, I'm not. I'm diversified. I don't need is the same amount of protection because all of my eggs aren't in one underlying basket. They're spread out. In fact, all the others that I have outweigh the amount of ES that I have in my account. So we've got great hedges on. We've got some great new trades. And today we actually placed the first new on gold, the new 2112 trade that I have on brand new trade. We've been toying with this thing. I love the setup of it. We really came up with something neat. You want to see what we're doing? Come and join us in the Discord. But the 2112, outstanding trade. We got one running on oil. We also put on some more ratio spreads. We've got multiple ratio spreads on oil right now. We've got 112s on oil. We've got strangles running. So we're really diversified out there. Make sure that you diversify as well as hedge. Okay, diversification will prove to be a decent hedge against your positions because you don't have your eggs all in one basket. And the way we hedge is, I don't want a bunch of one delta, long puts out there. Okay, that I have to drop 30. We were modeling it today. You got to drop 30% for that thing to go up like 12 to 15 bucks or something. So I don't want to make 1,200 or 12 bucks or even 100 bucks or even 1,000 bucks. Okay, I don't want to have to drop to 3,100 before my hedge kicks in. Our hedges are all in the 4,000s and high, mid 4,000s to low 4,000s. Why? Because I want my hedges to have some meat on the bone. Okay? If we drop 5 to 10%, I want my hedges to start paying. If we black swan it, okay, what do you think is going to pay off more? A hedge at 3,000 or 3,100 or a hedge at 4,200, 4,300? Okay. Your higher hedges are going to pay off more. Don't forget to pony up for those a bit more. Okay. But you don't got to spend your life savings to do it. You don't kind of come up with some gimmicks to do it. All you got to do is be smart, hedge, and diversify. All right. I hope that was helpful for everybody here. We appreciate you being in the Discord here. Again, another new all-time high on the account, and we're moving forward on the year. You want to see what we're doing? Come and join us in the Discord. Come and join us and figure out exactly what what you can do, what we're doing on here. If you like this video, click the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the video. And if you want to see what we're doing, come join us in the Discord. Take care, everybody. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.